On this episode of The Job, I'm headed to Colorado.
Hey guys, Jason Stewart. I just came out here. We're in Colorado right now. We traveled from Missouri from home, and I came up to Colorado and I met up with Chad Skinner. Chad Skinner is Pixel Beer Media. He's the guy that does all of our video editing, and he's our producer, and he does all of our graphics and everything for us. He's the behind the scenes guy. So we are in just outside of, right now we're actually in Denver. Chad lives just outside of Denver, and we come up here. We're going to try to chase some coyotes, Colorado coyotes. I've never hunted Colorado. I've been into Kansas. I've never been this far west hunting coyotes. So I'm going to try to get some Colorado coyotes for the first time.
We have a beautiful drive up into the mountains, you know. I think that's one of the things I enjoy almost as much as the coyote hunting, just getting out of Missouri and seeing some other landscape.
Pavement ends, you know, that's where we're going to be.
It took a little while to find this one spot on the first day, but you know, it looked beautiful, looked good. And
all right, guys, we're up in the mountains of Colorado. We got a kind of a small clearing, and we're gonna see if we can't make something show up. Nice and cool up here, down low. It's like you know, 90 degrees up here. We're at like 68 to 70. So we got a drop off here, and it's fairly open. One of the few spots we've seen like that. See, something didn't want to come in.
This is the first time I've been hunting with a camera. I've done a little bit of hunting when I was younger, but not as an adult. I kind of knew what to expect in a way. I've done a lot of editing for not only Songdog Mafia, but some other groups as well. And it's definitely a cool experience. It's something that you can't anticipate how you're going to react.
you know, we come to find out that most of this area was heavily populated with campers and people, you know, out hiking and stuff. So,
and this spot, you can't see it in the camera, and we couldn't either, but there was actually a camper just on the far edge of this ridge where we were calling. Had we known that, we wouldn't have even set up there.
You know, the only thing we had respond was a mule deer that was pretty interested, but it wasn't quite what we thought it was going to be. We spent a lot of time getting to this first spot, and then, you know, we just finally realized, you know, me and Chad started talking like, guys, we got to regroup. Let's regroup and try to figure out what we're going to do. Let's get a better plan for when we wake up the next morning, and that's exactly what we did.
I had actually talked to a landowner there that on this property, and he said, yeah, I hear them all the time.
Said he's been seeing them back there and having them, you know, come up pretty close to his house, and he wanted us to see if we can't come out and try to help him out a little bit. And, you know, the night before we go out and do some locating, And we had a couple responses, and we kind of had them pinned down. And you know, that's the deal, guys. Go out and do your homework, get them ready, and you'll have more successful hunts. And that's exactly what we did.
We got a response. You can't really hear it on the camera, but we did get a response. That kind of gave us an idea of where we needed to go.
That's where we thought they might be by looking at the map. We've never been out here until tonight, but by looking at the map, we could tell there's a creek over there and there's some trees, which is very scarce right in this area. These prairies, or plains, I guess you would say. But the way this is built, there's not a lot of trees out here. So right now with pups and stuff, they're going to be where they can get into some cover and it's hot. And that's right where they thought. We looked at the map, and we kind of guessed that's what area they'd be in. So we'll be back after them tomorrow.
This segment of the job is brought to you by Predator Hunter Outdoors. Keep hunting after the sun goes down.
All right, guys, second day. Yesterday, we only made it out to one stand total. We only found one place that we could actually get a clearing and get in and call. So today we got a private land set up that we're going to go hit first, and then we're going to drive down into a different part of the mountain range and work our way up to another spot. So hopefully today will pay off a little better, and we'll have some more opportunities to get some calling done and get ourselves a goner.
We had a guy contact Chad, a landowner, and said he's been seeing him back there and having him, you know, come up pretty close to his house, and he wanted us to see if we can't come out and try to help him out a little bit. And you know, the night before we go out and do some locating, and we had a couple responses, and we kind of had them pinned down. And
well, we get out there and the wind wasn't right. We just didn't feel comfortable calling it in the morning, so we decided, you know what, let's get out into the mountains again. Can't tell, but this is really steep. 15% grade. For every 100 feet we go forward, we drop 15 feet in elevation. We'd actually talked to some people about going out towards the Hayman burn scar, which the Hayman fire was a fire that happened a little over a decade ago, and it was at the time one of the largest wildfires in Colorado.
So we finally got into some public area where we can actually get up in the mountains and actually see something. So we talked to a guy that owned a sawmill down the road, and he said that they've had a lot of success up here. You know, like he's had some friends that's hunted up here and said it's always good, that the coyotes like the scar areas. I talked to a guy online on our page, and he said that he's hunted the scar areas and had good luck. Yeah, we're in the middle of the summer, but it's cooler up here. Let's see if we can get something to happen. So we're gonna try it. Can't do anything just driving around. We got to get some coyotes.
So we get up on this first stand, the first stand of the day. We're like excited, ready to go. We're sitting there calling, and we're thinking, okay, nothing's gonna work like yesterday. Maybe we're not in the right spot. And then all of a sudden we hear dirt bikes on this trail, and we're like, it's done, it's over.
You know, Chad goes, well, this is pretty much it, isn't it? And I'm like, yeah, probably so. But I said, I'm gonna try one more thing. I said, they're probably used to this, so I'm gonna give something a shot. And we went to Tony Tevy's den raid.
We're talking, we're not even really like thinking that this stand's gonna do anything. We're sitting there talking. You can hear the audio of these dirt bikes.
Yeah. Oh, we're downwind now. There he is. Yep.
As these coyotes show up. How they decided to just come in like they did, I don't know, but we thought the stand was over.
You were at before. There he is coming down. Okay. You ready? You on him? Yep, I'm on him.
Woo! Right down, buddy.
You know, I talked to Chad, and I told him, I said, Chad, when you hear me bark, you know, I'm stopping that dog and I'm getting ready to pull the trigger. But Chad must have forgot that when he was out there filming, you know.
That gunshot I was not prepared for, and so I'm trying to zoom in on the coyote, and boom, there we go, and earthquake happening all of a sudden.
He's supposed to be the professional, but to me it looks like he's making some rookie mistakes.
I mean, I've been in some stressful situations, but I've never had gunfire right next to my ear going off while I'm running a camera. So the natural reaction is to jump.
Folks, you know what that means right there. It means we just killed us a coyote, or shot at a coyote, but we killed a coyote. Guys, we're the second day in Colorado. Yesterday was really a bust. I mean, we made one stand that wasn't great. We found out it was really heavily populated with a lot of people and campers at this time of the year. But, you know, we kept doing our homework. You know, me and Chad did not give up. We're going to call and try to kill some coyotes. We're not giving up. We finally got into a nice burn area. Got us a pretty good sized coyote, and we had two of them come in. I don't know if I don't know if Chad got the first one on camera, but we got two of them to come in. First one was just brief. I mean, it was in and out through the small trees here. But the second one, the bigger coyote, he wanted to play. He wanted to check it out.
First Colorado coyote, baby.
First Colorado coyote. You know, a coyote's a coyote no matter where you kill them. I'll tell you what, but it's fun just to get out of your box, get out of your own setting, get out of everything, and try something different.
That's a good coyote. I'll tell you what, this coyote's burned up a little more than I expected. Oh yeah, he's female. I thought it was a male the way it came down. I thought maybe the other one was a female, but it's a female. All right, guys, we got us a Colorado goner. We're gonna drag this thing out, and I'll probably have a heart attack doing it.
I told Jason, I said, drink lots of water because you're in the altitude. Then we get out there and we start running around, and two fat boys out there in the mountains, we're about to die.
Things we do for coyotes. For a coyote. I had a heart attack doing it, but I got myself a goner in Colorado.
This segment of the job is brought to you by Icotech, dead serious game calls.
We got this coyote in the truck and we were excited. We were hoping that, hey, this is a good sign, you know.
One down. We both about had heart attacks trying to come back up. We're not used to this elevation. And just to face it, I'm not in shape. So the two was not working for me. It was working against me. But heck, you know what? I go for a challenge. I don't back down from anything. We're going to keep at them. Chad said, I got your back. Let's keep doing it. We're going at it again.
Yes, we have to get stand on this one. I think we'll sit down and start to sit on this, and then this, they could come right up through this.
You know, it's really hard to find sets that were close together. So, you know, we only made like 3 more stands, I think it was, 4 for the day. It's really rough up there to find land on public land that works.
But unfortunately, we kept going all day long and just couldn't find any more coyotes ready to move.
So we changed it up and I said, let's go back to that landowner. Let's finish out the night with it.
Still, the wind wasn't quite right. We just weren't feeling it. So on this same property, the guy had told me about some prairie dogs. He was like, you can kill all the prairie dogs you want because they mess up my ground and they dig up my stuff.
He's looking at us.
It got pretty close to dark, and so it was hard to see.
Okay, hold on. Wait till he gets back up.
They decided to hide.
Wait till he stands up.
It had just hit that point where the mosquitoes were just like buzzing all over the place. So we decided, let's get out of here. So we were literally putting the camera away, grabbing the gun to go back to the truck, and we hear 2 dogs off in the distance.
Lo and behold, these coyotes go off about 600-700 yards away. It was frantic then. I told Chad, I said, get the call, let's get going. So,
and I'm trying to get some film because I'm like, hey, this is good stuff. And he's like, just go. So I'm like running to the truck to get the call. I mean, it was all very fast. We're like, we don't have much daylight left. Let's get on it. We set the call out right in front of one of these mounds. We're like, they're somewhere around here.
Let's get down behind us. Yeah. This grass is a little taller. Think about this.
when you're in this kind of situation, you use what's available to you.
Jason's laying on top of this mound. I'm just standing there with the camera. I don't have anywhere to set.
So I originally started on a smaller mound of compost and dirt, and then I moved over to a larger one to get a higher advantage so I could see these dogs a little better. We had a lot of this was pretty tall grass, and on this compost pile there was, needless to say, millions of mosquitoes. So I was getting eat up, so I was going through a lot of pain to try to call in these coyotes. So I did a couple quick howls, they responded, and I hit Tony Tebby's den raid, probably just about a minute, and we had coyotes within feet of us.
I'm on him.
And then it was chaos from there. I mean, originally I thought he was going to shoot the first coyote. That one turned and went back the other way. The second coyote literally hits the pile of compost and darts off. Well, then Jason's able to hit the one. I didn't quite get that first shot on film, but then he has to go ahead and take another shot to put it down. And
Down. Dude, I didn't even see him until they're right here. My scope was too high. Got one of them.
man, that was a crazy hunt.
Yeah, they started howling down there, and I set off a couple JD howls, JD Pyatt howls, and they answered me back, and we hit pup distress. And I'm not kidding you, from down those trees, which is 600-700 yards away, I played it. They were here in a little over a minute. I mean, they hauled it in, and we were sitting on that pile, and I kid you not, one of them almost came up onto the pile. And I was on the back side of it using it for a rest, because I didn't have a rest, and it was just fast paced. And they were so close I couldn't find them in my scope. I zoomed out just a little more. If I'd have had a shotgun, I'd have nailed both of them up close. But man, they come right into it. TT den raid, way to start it or finish it off. Second coyote in Colorado. This is a crazy one. We're actually in the middle of a bunch of people's houses, and we made it happen.
So this was an interesting way, though, to wrap up the Colorado hunt. I got out with my best friend. Me and Chad's been best friends for years, so it was kind of cool to get out and let him do his thing and me do my thing. And
it definitely gave me a new respect for what they do just as hunters and trying to film as well. So, you know, I give these guys a hard time all the time going, why didn't you get this video? Or why didn't you get this video? Now I understand why.
It was a neat wrap to the Colorado trip.
I had a great time with Jason out here in Colorado, and I can't wait to do it again.